Thank you, Skylar. And now that we've examined Goldman Sachs, I'm going to go over the Awana trading project and our results. So the main currency we traded was the Japanese yen. Most of our, between the Japanese yen and US dollar, most of our trades were shorting USD to JPY rate. We also saw some success in trading the euro, as well as a few trades of USD to the Canadian dollar. We had a total of 22 trades and mainly kept our trades from 3 to 7 days. And we did have some accounts that we held for most of the duration of the project, and some that we closed our positions just hours after entering. The typical size of our trades we made were $50,000, with the largest being 200,000 and the smallest being 10,000. We used moving averages of 50 and 200 days to help us predict what the rate would do in the future. And we mainly use these for the euro and the Canadian dollar because we were basing the shorting the Japanese yen on the fact that the Central Bank of Japan wanted to increase the value of their dollar, therefore lowering the rate between the USD to JPY. And with that thought in mind, we shorted the USD to JPY many times, and this did work for some trades, but it was hard to see through the time frame that we had. Most of our yen shorts ended up losing a lot of money until the October 21st, when the central bank went in and actually dropped the rate. The timestamp on this drop matches the Greenwich time, further showing that it was the central bank that did make this major shift in value. And I will now go over some of the trades and just give you some examples of what we were actually doing. So the first trade I'll go over is our best trade, and this involved shorting the euro to USD. We shorted 30,000 units at a rate of 0.97947 on October 6th, and took our profit on October 13th at 0.96498. This trade realized profit of $433, was our largest profit from a single trade. And this trade was mainly successful just because we were patient and we did wait until the rate dropped and gave us a good profit. And we were lucky enough to exit before that large spike that you see on the exit point graph. Our next trade that I'll go over was also involving the euro to USD, and this ended up losing us about $1,000. And the main reason for that was just the sheer size of the trade. We shorted 200,000 units, which gave us a leverage point of 2, making our losses ×2. And this trade we just did not see through long enough either. We entered on October 25th, and we shorted thinking it was going to drop, and then it ended up actually rising at a pretty steep rate, and then ended up going back down, but we did not see it through for the drop on around the 27th, and we exited on the 26th when the rate was still rising for a total loss of $962. And the third trade we had, this was another big loss. This was just an example of us shorting the Japanese yen and it not being successful for us. This trade we entered in on October 20th or on October 18th and exited on October 20th. So we held it for only 2 days. And if you see the bottom graph, the rate did fully drop a lot, and that was when the central bank did go in and adjust the rates. So if we just waited just one more day, even we could have realized a pretty substantial profit. Even though it was only 12,000 units, we still could have made a pretty good amount of money. So yeah, just again, we needed to just be patient and really just believe in the fact that the central bank was going to go in and make that adjustment. And then for our last trade that I'll go over, this was a smaller trade profit-wise, but honestly one of the larger trades we did make. It was $100,000 or 100,000 units. So this was just a leverage rate of 1, and this trade we made this after the JPY was already dropped and was kind of fluctuating up and down, and we were trying to just have a quick little like get it at a low, like short at a high, and then take our profit at a lower point. And we were actually successful in this, and we did end up making only $20 from it, but that was just because we only had our position for an hour. And luckily we did do this because the rate did go back up, and we would have, it has not gone back down to the rate that we bought or sold at, shorted it at. And so luckily we did exit when we did. And so after all is said and done, we had an unrealized profit loss of $4,460, a realized profit loss of $1,292, causing our net asset value to be $93,987. So we did end up losing a good amount of money, and most of that was through the JPY or US to JPY, plus that grand that we lost for with the euro short. So what we took away from this, I mean, we learned a lot over the duration of this project. We had couple different strategies in terms of how long we keep them, setting entry orders and stuff like that. So our main problem was that we were betting against the trend of the US to JPY, and if you look at the graphs, they fully just do, they are rising for the duration of the project until the 21st when it does drop. So we were betting against that, and that was kind of a hard thing to do in the short time frame. So it was hard to realize profit, and it was harder to really just stay true and say this will happen. And if we did wait, we would have made a good amount of money. We also had problems trading over the short term. Since we did have kind of longer positions, or we shorted, but we had held our positions for longer. We tried and weren't making money. We tried to do just like short little trades and trying to get in and out and just make a little bit of money. This was difficult just because it's very hard to predict how the rates are going to be impacted within an hour or two. So this was kind of just shooting in the dark and seeing what happened. We did end up coming up about around even on all of these trades, which wasn't terrible, but kind of shows it is just a shot in the dark, 50-50 chance. And then as for in regards to our positions that we held for longer, we, after losing some money, we set just entry orders for profit loss and stop loss, or take profit and stop loss. And the main problem with this was we would set our margins too skinny, so we didn't allow enough fluctuation within them, and we would end up closing our position at a loss when in fact the rate would drop back down and we actually could have made some money. So all in all, we did learn a lot. It was we did lose some money, but you know, sometimes you learn more from your mistakes than anything else. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation and can learn from our trading mistakes and know a little bit more about Goldman Sachs.